Hi guys, so I am making a new video today and I'm just in this like really weird part of this journey. Yesterday and the day before were really tough days for me. I kind of became something that I don't want to become, and as we moved here, we've been staying in an RV park, and trying to find housing is a lot more difficult than what I was expecting. We kind of were struggling back at home. Everyone's like, why are you going to take a camper all the way over there? Like, don't you need to have a house? But now I understand why. The market here right now, since the Carr fire, hasn't really leveled out. Things are more pricey, and it's really hard to find a place because there's so many people trying to find a place. So as you would go and apply for a house or an apartment, there's 10 other people with applications in already. Yesterday morning we went to go look at a house, and it was so beautiful. It was like just everything that we would have wanted. And when we got there, they're like, somebody already put an offer in and they have 10 other packets. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So we had that aspect, and our financial situation has kind of like dwindled down quite a bit. When you start paying off all your bills and stuff, we made some money on our house, but looking at where we're at financially and how we're going to make this happen and how it's going to work, and am I going to have to get a job, and Craig is going to have to get a job as well, and Lord, how are we going to feed our family? We're living in an RV park that doesn't let us stay for a month, so we have to pay a week at a time right now until we can find a monthly site. So there's all these big issues, and yesterday I just really started to get overwhelmed, and I was discouraged, and I was crying, and I was frustrated, and I just had an overall really bad day. And I knew like Craig got out of school, and even before he went in, he's like, it's gonna work out, God's just gonna work it out. And it was one of those times where I'm like, I don't really want to just act like it's all going to be fine. It's not okay right now. We're facing some serious things. And so I was just really resistant to just kind of band-aiding it and being like, oh, it's going to work out, God's got us. And so I had just given over, I think, to unbelief. And I was frustrated, and I was hurt, and I just was crying a lot during the day, and just, Lord, how is this going to happen? There's so many other aspects. I called Jenny, and I'm like, this has been the worst day yet. And she came over, and she's like, I thought you said that yesterday. I'm like, well, apparently it's just been a bad couple days. So anyways, this morning I woke up, and I knew yesterday, like I was in the flesh, and I wasn't really like yielding my heart to the Lord. But yet there just felt like there's this wall in my way. It was just this major wall. I can't explain other than that. And it was just unbelief. Like I was giving over to a spirit of unbelief. And this morning I woke up and I prayed, and I asked Holy Spirit, what should I read this morning? And he told me to read Joshua. And honestly, when you make those mental connections where you're like, what would be a good story to read to help encourage myself? I really wasn't there at all. I literally just asked the Holy Spirit, Lord, where do I read? It would have been anywhere, and I just felt like Joshua. So I started to read in Joshua, and obviously looking at it now, I'm like, well, duh, But we read this morning with my kids about how, God had brought the Israelites out of Egypt, and when they went to scout out the promised land, they see giants, they see fortified cities, and not only were they discouraged, but they said, like, we should just appoint a leader and go back to Egypt. And I felt like, wow, I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to get to that point where I'm like, I'm so discouraged that I would rather just turn around and go back home. But I could see and I could relate when you see things that are over you, bigger than you, stronger than you, even though God, had brought us across the country, and it was a really hard trek with a camper and in the winds and through the mountains, and, we had sold our house really quickly, and we had, been able to get rid of everything and clear it all out, and that seemed like this great feat, but really coming into here has been more challenging. Being able to find a place to live, knowing that we're going to be okay, finding jobs, being able to make ends meet. We have one vehicle, and there's a lot on our plate right now that seems overwhelming. And yet, I just, I felt like the conviction of the Lord. Yesterday I went to Walmart and I bought myself a shirt. You know, when you're in a financial crisis, you buy a shirt. It's not always the best thing to do, but it made me feel better. And then today I just, I apologized to the Lord for that. And I apologized to my kids for that. Because I said, you know, I shouldn't be reaching to things to comfort me. I need to be reaching to God to comfort me. I need to walk this out as though this is my life, not just a theory. And so that's kind of where I'm at. This is a raw, real entry. It's not as raw as the personal one I made yesterday where I was crying, but I'm kind of coming over the other side of it and choosing to have faith, choosing to believe that God is who he says he is and he will provide for us. So we just ask if you guys could partner in prayer with us about it. That'd be awesome. Have a great day. Thank you.